once again to our show that is called Real Shame. It's a show where we look at movies that we haven't seen that we probably should have seen, and then we talk about them for your viewing or auditory pleasure, hopefully. I am one of your hosts. My name is Adam.
My name is Andy.
That's the world's longest intro. If you've seen the title, you know what movie we're going to review. But before we jump into that, we always like to talk about what we've been watching. So, Andy, what have you been watching?
We're filming this week or a couple of weeks after the Academy Awards. But actually, before the Academy Awards happened, I watched as many of the Academy Award nominees as I possibly could. I think I did see all of the Best Picture nominees going into the Academy Awards. But these are three of them. Promising Young Woman, I watched with Carey Mulligan and Bo Burnham.
Yep.
I'm not as crazy about this movie as a lot of other people seem to have been. I didn't really like it, honestly, much overall.
I think it's polarizing a little bit.
Yeah, I mean...
I hear this, the subject matter is not like, you know, it's not like the most, easy kind of subject to kind of go across, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely, polarizing. I would say. I certainly didn't have a problem with the themes or whatever you want to say about it. I just didn't like it overall. I just didn't really like the execution that much. Carey Mulligan was fine. You know, I didn't necessarily have a problem with any of the performances. I just didn't really think the movie was all that great. And then I watched The Father with Anthony Hopkins and Olivia Colman. And I didn't really know what
Best Actor winner.
Best Actor Anthony Hopkins. I didn't really know what to expect from this movie because I didn't read anything about it before I saw it. I thought it was horrifying because of the subject matter in it. It was just very, very I don't want to say gut wrenching, but it was just it's scary to think to think of yourself being in Anthony Hopkins' position.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch this movie.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was very good. It's based on a play. Thanks for getting in my way there. Download update. Hey, I can't see. But anyway, I'll move that if I need to. Anyway, I thought it was good. I don't think it was a movie that it is a movie that I would watch again. And then finally, I watched Minari with Steven Yeun. And I thought that was also good. Of course, the one lady, I'm not going to try and butcher her name. She won Best Supporting Actress or Best Actress. Best something. No, Best Actress is Frances McDormand. She won Best Supporting Actress. She deserved to win because I thought she was really, really good in this movie. The movie itself is overall, I thought was decent. Again, probably not as high on it as other people, but it's worth watching. I thought it was good. It's a nice little slice of life from the 1980s about a Korean family that's trying to make it in America as farmers. Yep. What have you been watching?
Yeah, so I've watched a couple of things. So I talked last week about Don't Look, which I actually think is about forging, not stealing, which is, stealing people's money. It's about forging paintings. I remember that better now.
Made You Look, right?
Made You Look, yes, thank you. So I watched a movie that I fondly remember about an art forger, and it's called Incognito with Jason Patric.
Never seen it.
And it's actually holds up pretty well, I think. I don't think it's as great as I remember it. And it's probably a movie I probably shouldn't have watched on HBO, but I like it. I think it's really well done, actually. I think it's a very, very solid movie. It probably should be more well known than it actually is, but I highly suggest checking it out. I think it's a really solid film.
All right.
And then I watched just something for fun that was just insane, and we watched Bloodsport. Because when's the last time you watched Bloodsport?
It's probably been too long.
Yeah, that's the answer. It's been too long.
Yeah.
Bloodsport is just insane and just fun. Awesome. The Jean-Claude Van Damme plays Frank Dukes, which is Dukes, which is a real life character, a real life person that basically, according to Wikipedia and everything, fabricated a lot of the events.
Yeah, right.
The Kumite doesn't really exist. I wish it did with Tong Po and all that kind of stuff, and Jackson, but unfortunately it does not. Bloodsport is a lot of fun. It's a blast. Right?
Totally agreed.
And then the last thing is, I said that we finished watching the OC, Kirby and I, so we decided to find another dramatic series to kind of watch as we're winding down in the evenings. And she's never seen the Friday Night Lights TV series, so I decided to start watching that. If you remember when we talked about our favorite couples, I mentioned this TV series, Tammy and the Taylor family. I can't think of Coach Taylor and his wife Tammy. I can't think of Coach Taylor's Eric Taylor. Coach Eric Taylor and Tammy Taylor are a great couple, and wanted to dig into this. We've already watched the first season. We watched it in a little over a week, and we're well on our way through the second season. And it's a really, really solid show. There's a couple of soap opera-y things that happen that I'm not the biggest fan of. Yeah. One happens in the second season with Landry and Adrian Palicki's character. I can't think of her name right now. Which I'm not the biggest fan of. I think it's just kind of too unrealistic. But, when the show's grounded and when it's focusing on the small town characters in Dillon, Texas, it's really good. It's a really good show. I highly recommend to anyone who hasn't seen it before. You will get a lot of good mileage out of this show. It's really good.
Cool.
Have you seen it?
Nope.
It's worth checking out. It's 5 seasons. They're on NBC, so they're 22 episode seasons. So it's a lot of content, but it's well worth the time. I enjoy it.
Alrighty.
So that's what I've been watching. Let's get into our featured review, and that's going to be
Shakespeare in Love. Alrighty. Bill Shakespeare, I like to call him Bill. Bill Shakespeare is having a crisis.
Because you're friends.
We are. He's trying to write a new play, Romeo and Ethel, the pirate's daughter. But he needs a muse. He finds one in the form of one Viola de Lesseps. But she is betrothed to another man, Lord Wessex. Can he finish his play and win her heart, all while eluding Lord Wessex's wrath? He's Shakespeare in love.
The Admiral's men are returned to the house!
Ned!
Henslow!
Nice one, nice.
Oh, good to see you.
Who is this?
Silence, you dog! I am Hieronymo. I am Tamburlaine. I am Faustus. I am Barabbas, the Jew of Malta. Oh, yes, Master Will. I am Henry VI. What is the play, and what is my part?
One moment, sir.
Who are you?
I'm the money.
Then you may remain, so long as you remain silent. Pay attention. You will see how genius creates a legend.
Thank you, sir.
We are in desperate want of a Mercutio, Ned. A young nobleman of Verona.
Mm-hmm. And the title of this piece?
Mercutio.
Is it?
I will play him.
So Shakespeare in Love came out in 1998. It was directed by John Madden. No, not that John Madden, not the football guy. Sorry. Different guy.
Crushed my dreams.
I know. Yeah, it would be crazy though if John Madden, the football coach
like
and football analyst, he's like, I'm gonna go over and do some movies and
football player, football analyst, Shakespeare lover, and
yes.
hopeless romantic.
Yes.
John Madden.
And it's written by Mark Norman and Tom Stoppard. Tom Stoppard is a big-time playwright. He wrote a lot of stuff, but one of the things he wrote another kind of Shakespearean play called Rosencrantz and Guildenstern
Did he
Are
really?
Dead. Yeah, he wrote that.
Interesting.
Yes.
Oh.
So Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are two minor characters in Hamlet, and Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. It has events from their perspective. So that's written by Tom Stoppard. It stars Joseph Fiennes, Gwyneth Paltrow, Judi Dench, Jeffrey Rush, Ben Affleck, Colin Firth is Lord Wessex, Tom Wilkinson, Rupert Everett plays Christopher Kit Marlowe, and it also has Imelda Staunton, who we're going to see on Wednesday, or she's in the movie that we're going to talk about on Wednesday. But anyway, this is a movie that I have seen probably 2 or 3 times before, so I'm definitely familiar with this movie. I did go see it in the theater back in 1998, but it's a movie that you've never seen.
I've unfortunately tried to watch it, and I've slept through.
Oh, you tried to watch it and you slept through it. Okay. So that's why it wound up on your list. All right. Well, so now this time you presumably did not sleep through it. I would hope.
I did not.
Okay, good. So it wasn't like Sky Captain of the World of Tomorrow.
It was not. Actually, it is like Sky Captain of the World Tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
You want me to explain why?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Because initially I thought it was going to be not a good movie and I fell asleep, but I actually really, really like this movie.
Okay, cool. Yes. I like it too.
I had a lot of trepidation going into this movie because it just feels like an arty affair, and it just feels very like, just on the surface, just didn't seem like something I would really like. You know, just kind of, I don't know, it just seemed like a very like generic romantic comedy took place in Shakespeare's time. Like, it seemed very like vapid to me, but the movie is completely the opposite. It's actually really, really good.
Yeah.
And I feel like it goes super deep cuts on the Shakespeare stuff, which is interesting because I was going to ask like about Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, because I'm wondering if they're actually in this movie. I don't think they are. I don't think they're called by name, but you know, I just feel like this movie is just harkening back, and people that love Shakespeare and that know Shakespeare are going to find all these kind of Easter eggs buried in the movie, because I feel like they did their work and they know kind of what, you know, all that stuff and built into it, and it just feels very true. There's like a lot of veracity to it. I feel in like the time period and stuff like that. So it's so weird of a movie. Like, to me, it's a little bit of a mind fuck, I guess, because like on the surface, it's not what it looked like is not what it is, right?
Yeah.
So I actually I really like this movie a whole lot. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was, you know, Joseph Fiennes, like, what's he doing these days? I guess he's in
Handmaid's Tale,
right?
Right.
He's great in it. You know, Gwyneth Paltrow's good in it. You know, I thought it was just awesome. I really, really dig this movie.
I'm glad you did. I know I really like it too. I loved it when I saw it back in 1998. I was one of the few people that I was wanting it to win Best Picture, which it did win Best Picture. It gets a lot of flack now because it won Best Picture over Saving Private Ryan. I'll talk about that as we get to the end. But,
Hey, I'm not.
They asked Academy members, like, nowadays, if you would vote, what would you vote for? And they were like, no, Saving Private Ryan. It should have won. But I disagree. I mean, I think Shakespeare, I like Saving Private Ryan, but I think Shakespeare in Love I like better.
Yeah.
So I was, a fan of this movie winning Best Picture back when it did. That's just me. But yeah, no, I like this movie. It's fun. It's funny. I think Gwyneth Paltrow also kind of gets a lot of hate these days for her vagina candles or whatever she's got. I don't know. Something like a goop. What is she?
She has a bunch of weird some
stuff.
Holistic.
I think a lot of people kind of make fun of her that, but I mean, I don't have any problems with her really as an actress. I did in Sky Captain: The World of Tomorrow. Funny enough, I didn't think she was that great, but I think she's fine in this movie. I think everybody's fine. Jeffrey Rush is funny. Ben Affleck is a little spotty, maybe. But overall, this is a fun movie. Even though it's a period piece, I think it's easily accessible. Yeah, I think you can get into it. I agree with you. I think there is a lot of kind of Shakespeare stuff, and that's what I love about it. You know, he's walking down the street, and the one guy who's against the theaters is like, a plague on both your houses, and he remembers that for later, and then he gets ideas from Christopher Marlowe. He's like, oh, good name, good title, good, stuff like that. So there's a lot of things that he draws from real life inspiration. Of course, Viola herself. Towards the end at the end of the movie, he dreams of her having a shipwreck and getting on the island, which is the beginning of Twelfth Night, as he's writing Twelfth Night, and just all that kind of stuff. There's so much going on in the movie that you may not catch all of it.
Yeah,
you might need a pop-up video.
I love it.
Version of this movie or something like that, but it's really, really fun and it's really, really funny. And even if you don't catch everything in the movie, I still think you get a lot out. I mean, if you have just even like a cursory knowledge of Shakespeare, which is pretty much all I have. I mean, I've read Romeo and Juliet in school, but I've definitely not read all of his plays. I've seen some of his movie some of the movie adaptations of his works. Spoiler alert for Wednesday.
Bill will be mad at you.
Yeah, but I know Bill would be mad at me. But no, I mean, I feel like I get enough out of this movie, and I just feel like it's just funny.
Yeah.
Tom Wilkinson's character I like a lot.
I think for me, he's the standout in this movie.
He's great.
Just like how excited and into it he is. Like,
he's very ruthless at first.
Oh yeah, he's just completely as soon as Ben Affleck kind of puts him in his place, he completely does a 180, and he's so awesome. There's a genuineness, he really wants it not to succeed for financial reasons. I'm sure that's part of it, but he's just he gets caught up in the magic of the theater, and when he gets to be the it was not the alchemist. Is it the alchemist or whoever gives the potion, the
apothecary.
Poison? Apothecary, yeah. He just he wants that role, and he's like into that role. He's like, "Can I wear a blue hat? I know a apothecary who wore a blue hat." Like for me, he's the standout. Just like how giddy he is about all this stuff. I think Ben Affleck's awesome in this movie because I think he's kind of leaning into who he was at the time, where he was kind of. I think
this is fresh off the heels of Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, I think Kevin Smith has said, and that he was kind of full of himself around this era, and in this movie he's definitely full of himself as character. Yeah. So I think he's leaning into that. And I think that makes it a lot of fun what he's doing and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
So I like that. I think Jeffrey Rush is almost unrecognizable, but he's just funny and just goofy, and he's no Barbosa like he is in the Pirates of the Caribbean, which I really love, but it's another solid role for him out there.
Yeah, and this movie also has a lot of kind of like, I guess for lack of a better phrase, I'll call it like mistaken identity or whatever. Yeah. Gwyneth Paltrow dresses up as Thomas Kent, and then Shakespeare gives his name as Marlowe, and then he finds out Marlowe's dead, and he thinks Lord Wessex killed him. And I mean, there's just a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, comedy of errors, I guess.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's got something to please everybody, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, this is a good movie. Check it out if you have not seen it. He liked it. I liked it.
I
like it.
100% agree.
And then
I also,
go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's won some awards.
It did win some awards, but I wanted to point out a year after this movie, there's a short film that if you're a Star Wars nerd, or even if you're not a Star Wars nerd, and you haven't seen this short film, George Lucas in Love, it is patterned after Shakespeare in Love. It talks about, it's great. George Lucas, as a young USC film student, gets all these ideas for this movie called Star Wars from all these different people that he knows, roommates, girlfriends, whatever it is. But that's a really, really funny little short film called George Lucas in Love from 1999. But yes, this cleaned up at the Academy Awards in 1999. It won Best Picture again over Saving Private Ryan, over Elizabeth, over Life is Beautiful, and over another war movie, The Thin Red Line. And again, a lot of people give it flack for that, but I don't care. I think it should have won. Gwyneth Paltrow won Best Actress. Judi Dench won Best Supporting Actress, despite the fact that she's barely in the movie.
Yeah, she's in it for like under 5 minutes.
Yeah, she has a very, very low screen time, but she's good. It won Best Original Screenplay, Mark Norman and Tom Stoppard screenplay. Best Art Direction, Best Costume Design, Best Musical Score, Stephen Warbeck. I may have left something off. I hope I didn't, but I don't know. I don't know if it won Best Director or not. I didn't write that down, but maybe not. And then it's 92% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. It's 80% audience score. It got 2 big thumbs up, and Leonard Maltin really liked it. He gave it 3.5 stars.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I think, well, obviously the most of that's facts, so I can't really disagree.
I agree with those facts.
But yeah, I agree.
The sky's blue.
It's a really fun movie. Like I said, if it looks off-putting because it might be too generic of a comedy, or it might be like a little difficult to get into, it's not, and it's well worth your time. I think you'll have a blast with it for sure.
Agreed. So I was thinking about what to pair with this movie because obviously it deals with Shakespeare. I wanted to do a movie that was actual Shakespeare brought to life, or brought to the screen. So one of his plays adapted for the screen. I immediately looked at Kenneth Branagh's Shakespearean adaptations because he's done quite a few. I didn't want to pick something like Hamlet because it's too dang long. Not that it's bad, because I have seen it and it is very epic, and I liked it when I saw it back then, but I just didn't want to go through a 4-hour movie or however long it is. So I picked a shorter Kenneth Branagh Shakespeare adaptation, and we are going to take a look next time at 1993's version, Much Ado About Nothing, on Wednesday.
Yep.
Stay tuned.
Yep. And if you've seen Shakespeare in Love, let us know. Leave us a comment below if you're watching us YouTube, or shoot us an email, realshame@gmail.com. At that email address, we also answer viewer questions. And again, I'm going to be asking you, we need some more viewer questions. So please shoot us those questions to us, realshame@gmail.com, REEL shame@gmail.com. We're on social media at Real Shame on Instagram. Like, subscribe, share the show. Do that stuff. That really does help. If you're watching us on YouTube and you don't get notifications when an episode comes out and you do want them, you can click that bell icon. I said I'm going to say it. I'm going to try to say it as infrequently as possible, but just putting that out there. And stay tuned in a few days when we dig back into Shakespeare and we see what Nothing's about, or Much Ado About Nothing. I don't know. That didn't really work as well coming out as it did in my head. We'll see you soon, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.